Hey YouTube. I know this is kind of a weird video because I've got myself together today. Usually I just come on and say whatever I want to say, looking however way I want to look. But I have my nails done, my eyelashes, my hair, and I've got this super cute bodycon dress on, right? You can just kind of see it because today's our anniversary. We're celebrating 37 years married. And it's a big deal, and I always go out to the salon and get all the stuff done so I look great. But I just want to give you guys a little bit of an update. I did get my blood results done, and I will be doing a video on that. And there is bad news and there's good news, and the good news is kind of what people would expect as a zero carb eater that I would have, and the bad news is stuff that has nothing to do with zero carb eating. So I'll just let you guys know what that ends up being. And appreciate guys' support and your subscriptions. I have a couple different channels. I have one for my product reviews. Like today I did a product review on my shoes while I was wearing this dress. Dream pairs, I just love them. And we're gonna be going out for supper shortly. Hubs is getting ready, and so I wanted to take just a real short, brief video. I'll get this up for Friday, which is in a couple of days, just so I have some content that's coming out consistently. But I will say that I was disappointed in my thyroid number, and I had some immune numbers that came back for the first time in my life, not in bounds. So that's the big spoiler there. My other numbers were quite good. All the ones that are diabetes markers and insulin resistance markers, those are all quite low. And of course, my organ function's really good too. So we're looking at kind of what we're gonna have to do next week. Gonna have to get another test and see where I'm at, but I'll give you guys concrete numbers on my next video, or I'll add it on to this one, because I kind of wanted to tell people where I was result-wise. I want people that have been watching me for my autoimmune stuff see what I'm gonna have to do next. And it's not gonna be pretty, guys. It's not gonna be pretty. And I should probably start calling myself the cheating carnivore no more. I'm gonna have a great time tonight with my husband of 37 years. I'm really excited about it, and thank you so much for your guys' subs, and stay tuned. I'll have more stuff, and I'll probably be doing a little bit more lifestyle and writing stuff, a couple videos of that in the future, just to shake things up a little bit, not have it all be just nutrition, right? Because I do have a life beyond nutrition. I know. Anyway, love you guys. Subscribe. Hey YouTube. So welcome to my channel, my itty bitty tiny channel. But it's a catharsis channel for me, guys. So I just want to say that this is going to be an update video, and I'm going to talk about several different things. I have a little bit of an intro in the beginning of this from when it was the day of my anniversary, and I just wanted to take a really quick video. I was kind of feeling a little blue because I had gotten some disheartening blood work numbers, not the ones that people are concerned with, but more of shocking numbers for me, shocking. So as you guys know, I'm 56 and a half, and I just celebrated my anniversary, and that was 37 years with Hubs. And let's get right into it. Let's dive right into the blood work numbers. So what was good and what was bad? Well, I will be putting up some numbers here for you guys to see and just look at, but for the first time in my life, my white blood cell count came back out of bounds. And how I know that just uneasily on quick observation was that the lab makes those in bold. When your numbers are out of range, out of the normal range, then they bold that. And so I had 4 numbers out of like 8 that were wrong, and what I did was I translated the Spanish line item into English, and then I put it into Google, and I went and looked at what that word meant in Google. I knew it was white blood because it was like a blanca sangre, so I knew it was white blood count. And so I was freaked out automatically because I wasn't expecting that. And that's its own video really, but I will just touch on the fact that my mom had rheumatoid arthritis. And so one of the big indicators of that is, a lot of other things too. But for me, I've always been aware of that, is the white blood count will be wrong because the immune system is engaged in a fight of some kind. And that's why the white blood is out of bounds. So out of the 4 numbers I looked at, 2 were too low, not really out of bounds, but a little bit, and 2 were too high. And so I looked at the ones that were too low, and the indicators were things like, lupus and, hepatitis, things I know that I don't have, but then RA was one of them. And then the other one that was low, RA was also a component, was a factor. They say, if you have this number and it's low, these are possible indicators of why. And so that's what I was looking for, of course, because of the familial history on the maternal side. And then the other thing was that the numbers that were high also had the common denominator of RA. Well, did they have all 4 that were out of bounds? Did they have a common denominator other than RA? No. In all 4, it said RA. So that's prompted me to do is that this coming week I will be going in and getting the antibody test for RA in conjunction with the out of bounds white blood cell count numbers. It's a foregone conclusion that that's what would be happening. Most recently, since November 28th, I was very clean eating with being carnivore. I started by doing more of a high protein protocol, and I felt less well as far as the things I was looking to resolve, which was, like I said, ligament tenderness and joint pain. And I was having like real random stuff happening. Like my hands, I'd wake up. For one thing, my hands were just swollen all the time. My knuckles were swollen, like inflamed. And the knuckles in my fingers, and then sometimes the joints in my feet, my ankles a little bit, my knees a little bit. You'd say, oh, so what, you're 56. Well, I've been feeling quite good for my age for a number of years. For this to suddenly kind of come on and become a thing for me to consider is what cued me into it. In fact, before I came to Muzzle Lawn in early November, I told Mom, I said, hey, I'm going to get an RA test because I don't think this is normal. I don't think I should wake up every morning kind of hurting when I walk. I can't bend down all the way. And it's not because my buttocks and my legs are real weak. They're not. I've been working on my hamstring and gluteus maximus since about May very consistently. So I'm stronger than most women would be in that area unless they're just diving in and doing, like some kind of a big weightlifting protocol or something. I'm actually on the stronger side there now. So it shouldn't hurt to bend down, but it hurt. It hurt to bend down all the way, and then trying to get up was impossible unless I had something for my mobility to bring me up, like my hand on a desk or a chair or whatever. And it was so reminiscent of what my mom had to do. Of course, she was in way worse shape than I ever was because it had been chronic, and she had been younger when she came down with arthritis. I think she was 38 and a half or something like that, late 30s. And then her aunt also had it. So it runs in my family. And all that means really is it's a propensity for that thing. Like autoimmune's just a thing in my maternal side. It's something that I've always understood. I didn't look into it too hard. It was made known to me from the time I was younger that it wasn't diet, that I had to put up with the possibility of it. And I was also getting like nodules on this one thumb that would hurt, and I could hardly bend it, there was just some stuff that was indicators for my thyroid. I was looking at my A1C number. I was looking at my cholesterol. I was looking at my triglycerides. I'm very concerned about A1C and triglycerides. I'm very concerned about ratio to cholesterol. Those were some of the things I was looking at as markers. I wanted to see, of course, my thyroid, but to see the white blood cell count come back out of bounds for the first time in my life was very disheartening, because I knew instantly that was autoimmune in nature, and I was going to have to sort that. So I will be going in this week for that test, and I'll let you guys know how it comes out. And Hubs, of course, was alarmed, and he doesn't alarm easily. He started looking into it, and he found some research and science that supports iodine as a supplement for the T3, because that's the part of my blood work that was really, really too low. The T4 was fine. So the T3, the big producer of the hormone, is too low. And it made my TSH go up to a 10 something. And it just can't be, guys. I need to be at 6 or under. And I don't want to be medicated, because giving me extra thyroid hormone because my thyroid's not making enough isn't the answer. It's not a solution. I need to give my body the raw material it needs to function correctly, and thyroid's in charge of everything. Endocrine system is super complex, and the thyroid's intimately tied to that. So I need to sort that. Hubs thinks that I can just go in and take iodine supplement, and that will work. He's got drops coming in a pill and the whole bit. So we're going to try that. And I've been watching this gal named Elizabeth Bright. She's a naturopath and osteo doctor that lives in Italy right now, but she's American. And she's really onto something. And her protocol is working with women. And women need iodine more because of us being women. And I guess second to the thyroid, breast tissue has a catch mechanism for iodine as well. And I guess because our world is so polluted, some of our natural mineral elements are no longer present in our food, you know, from where it's grown or where it's harvested. And so the iodine that was present, you know, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, isn't present in an amount that's sufficient for the body to uptake it. It does have to be bioavailable, so forget iodized salt. She was saying that you'd have to have 5 or 7 cans of sardines to give the iodine that we need in modern times. It's too much food to eat to get what we need. And then the salt, I guess, is not bioavailable because of how it's put into the salt, and it actually works in the opposite direction. So that's not a solution either. So for me, I'm gonna start trying iodine to combat the problem of the thyroid hormone, and that's probably part of why I'm having some trouble losing weight, and I'm just kind of sticking around at a weight that I'm less comfortable being at. But I'm still, like I said, the weight thing is way down here. I had a little bit of luck in the beginning of the high fat, lower protein carnivore, but I've gone ahead and gotten real strict now. I have to have coffee because I'm addicted to caffeine, right? So I'm going to come off that slowly. And I think Hubs he's on board with me having like decaf for now. And then I've been putting butter in my coffee to get my fat in the morning. And Elizabeth Bright just happens to actually use that as well. She has decaffeinated coffee because she doesn't want to stimulate cortisol and engage the adrenals, which, yes. So there's that. And so I just think I'm going to move over to decaffeinated coffee so I can still have the ritual and the hot coffee in the morning, but with no stimulants, you know, just the butter in there. And of course, I haven't had alcohol for, well, I had it for my anniversary, but other than that, I hadn't had it for a couple of weeks, and that's out. And all pop is out, and all natural flavored carbonated water is out. So what I'm having right now is water and Topo Chico, which is a mineral water that's indigenous here in Mexico. It's from Topo Chico, Mexico. Anyhow, and it's just a bubbly. It's like Perrier or whatever. So I'm having that. I'm having water, and I'm going to work caffeinated coffee into decaffeinated coffee. Let me see, what else? Oh, I gave up cream because cream is processed, and I just have to make absolutely certain that whatever I'm having doesn't have any process where the body has to fight to get its nutrients or detoxify anything. If I take the guesswork out of it by just not having anything else but eggs and meat and butter, I should be doing okay. And she also advocates for lower protein and higher fat. Now, yesterday I had 160 grams of protein because I was coming off of my anniversary where I had whatever I wanted to eat. And I think I am seriously thinking about renaming my channel, or my handle, because I'm just going to stay Tamara Rose Blodgett because it's just easy. But I'm thinking about renaming my channel handle as The Cheating Carnivore No More. Because I actually don't think I can cheat. Now, we'll see. Next week, I'm going to go in for the RA test, the antibody or protein test, to see if that's what's going on, which is what I highly suspect. And then after I go in and see that, I might also get my glucose tested because that came back as 96. Now, you guys might be going, well, you had cream in your coffee. Well, I've always done it that way. I've always gone into my fasted tests with a bunch of cream in my coffee, or 2 cups of coffee with cream in both of them, and always been around 77 to about 82, which is where I want to be. But this time I was 96. So I'm not liking that. And then Elizabeth Bright was also saying she wants to see women's total cholesterol in the 200 to 300 area, and I was 320, but my triglycerides are lower, so my risk factor was still normal because I had an A1C of 5.17, and then I had a triglyceride count of 106. But she did factor in saying that if the thyroid's functioning correctly, your triglyceride numbers should be much lower. Like Hubs were in the 50s last year when he got tested, for instance. And that's where mine should be, because I am not having carbohydrate except on that rare cheating occasion, okay? And now I'm so frightened about my health with the thyroid issue, the non-functionality, and the number continuing to rise in conjunction with the white blood cell count out of norm situation has got me feeling like I absolutely have to take this in hand right now. And I was going to go this direction if my numbers weren't perfect anyway. It's just that I wasn't expecting the white blood cell thing. So that's what's got me really, really on target. I'm keying into that right now. So anyhow, I'll let you guys know how things go. And my diabetes type of numbers, the sugar numbers, and the ones that say, hey, you're diabetic, those are low enough. My triglycerides are lowish. My A1C is okay, though I'd like to see it under 5. I'd like high 4s. I'd like 4.3 to about 4.8 or 9. So 5.1 is higher than I want, but classically it's okay. And then I don't know what it's called, VLDL or VDLD, that ratio was also good. And I'm not concerned about my LDL being high or my cholesterol being classically high, because, you know, we need cholesterol as a vehicle to nourish our cells, and eating cholesterol is part of that protocol. So that in and of itself isn't. My triglycerides are the number that doctors are currently looking at. Cholesterol has been vilified forever, but now everybody knows that it's actually triglycerides you have to look at. So that's good. So none of that stuff, insulin resistance or anything, is in play. But my thyroid dysfunction is affecting definitely my thyroid and all kinds of endocrine systems. And then also the white blood cell count is out of norm. So I have to get that resolved. So next week's video is probably going to give you some results on that. I'll probably get it done. I'm not going to wait very long. I'll probably go on Monday or Tuesday, because Carnivore starts here, which is a big Mardi Gras festival that comes every February. So I'd like to get that done before that happens, so I don't have to worry about it, right? Anyhow, thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel and like it and share it with others if you think there's anything here of worth. And it could be that I find solutions for things. What if the iodine works like the magnesium citrate and the D worked for my regularity? That was like 30% of my journey, was just making sure that my digestion system would then work. What if that helps me? It would be, if the iodine resolved my thyroid problem, it would be life-changing, and maybe for other people as well. So anyway, share this with your friends. And if you're a younger woman, start this protocol right away. It's super important. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you.